Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'll be addressing a very common issue with beginners to make a rose. So I am a part of one of the group on Facebook, whose link I'll be putting under the description of my video to check out. This is a beginners watercolor group and beyond. So in that group, we do have a lot of beginners who always struggle with roses. So today I'm going to show you step by step what you should be aiming to achieve and how we can do it very easily. I won't be using any fancy supplies like high brands brushes or paper. So I'll show you how we can achieve a beautiful rose just with the simplest of things, because all we need to know is the right technique. Okay, so let me first begin by showing you how a rose looks like. So I plucked one of the roses from my garden. It's almost dying right now. It's a button rose, but if you can see, the center of the rose is pretty tight, right? Pretty tight. We can hardly see the pollens. And then we have these petals, which is flaring out. Do you see the last petals? These are pretty flared up. So if we get to draw this, how will this look? It will look something like a tight circle, then one more petal, and maybe a C, one more C, C, C. So this is the center, and then we have the first flared petal like that, some more like this. Here one, which is a small one, some big ones, here some more, this one right here, and this one, and this particular one, and this very big one over here, and little ones at the back. So does this look like a rose to you? Because it does to me. Right? So we referred an original rose for this one. Now let's do it once again without this reference. All we got to know is the center has to be tight, then little C or U, whatever you would like to call, and then just flare it out a little bit, and little, and little, and little, and. So our beautiful rose is done. Isn't this very simple? So the center needs to be pretty tight, very close to each other. And as we move further, we have to flare out. Simple, right? So let me do the same once with a paintbrush. So at the beginning, let me take a paintbrush which is number 2. Pretty pointy and snappy. And let me quickly pick up a color. Let me take an unusual color, maybe a purple color. And with number 2, let me show you how the center would look like. So I made a 0 or a circle. I made a C, one more 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 C. One more C. Now it's time to flare out. So to flare out, what I'll do is I'll pick up some paint, and with this angle, I'll be pushing the paint so as to have an uneven petal. So I'm literally just pushing however my brush goes, and see how the shape is coming all together. I'm literally only pushing my brush, and that's creating a beautiful rose. One here and one here. So my rose with number 2 brush is done. If I got to make the same one with another brush, maybe a number 6, let me show you how different that would look. So this is a brush from Amazon US. This was a set of $10 for 10 brushes. So this is the basic $1 brush, which I'm sure every one of you has. And this is a normal watercolor paper. This is maybe 80 GSM. This is for my daughter's rough sheet. So I'm using the same one. All I'm showing you is you don't need fancy supplies. You only have to know the techniques. So let's go ahead and make this rose over here with this brush. Let me just pick up another color. So for this, let me just pick up a magenta. Okay, so if we do the center, it has got a tip, but the tip is not very pointy. And I'm just going to show you that how a single number 6, in fact this is number 8 brush, how this would look, and also how a variation can look like. So the center, keep doing the C. You can just do a wavy C because roses are not very perfect in shape. So just do a wavy C. And now I'm taking some water onto my brush and I'm just pushing. Do you see how the sides are coming out to be? So this is how my rose came out to be. This is number 8 brush. And now I'll show you one more brush, which is my favorite brushes for roses. I really love the loose roses, and this is a quill brush or a mop brush. I'm in India right now, and there's a very good brand which is Bruce Throw. This is a natural hair mop brush that I use. So if you are someone who really fancies loose watercolor florals, I would highly recommend you to go for the quill brushes or the mop brushes. It's the same thing but different names. Make sure that the point is, or the tip is, very pointy, and this is number 0. So it comes in 0, 2, 4 and 8. So this is number 0. Let me show you how my very loose rose will look with this brush. So I'm picking up some crimson red mixed in with some yellow, and with the very point I will begin the center. So a C. So guys, whenever you see at a rose, do you see the center is much more darker than the outside? So the center is very dark, and as we will flare out, it will become lighter. So this is my center, and now quill holds a lot of water, so I do have a lot of water in my brush, so I'm simply going to flare out. Taking some more water. Do you see how beautifully this flares out? So guys, this is just a rough sheet. I was only showing you how different kind of brushes will have a different rose. So all you got to know is the drawing that you have to follow in your mind, and this is how different brushes will look like when you do on the paper. So now let me show you something very important. This is basically using the cheap quality paper for your artwork. Well, there are a lot of people who believe that good quality paper is very important. Well, I do believe that, 100% cotton, but I do have a couple of papers with me which are 0% cotton. This is completely cellulose, 0% cotton. There are papers like 25% cotton, 100% cotton that I use, but I really like the cellulose paper. This is the cheapest in the market. For 200 rupees, I can get 20 sheets. This is Canson Montville. In America as well, on Amazon US, you get $8 Canson XL pad for watercolor, which has 30 sheets. So that's the same brand I'm using today. All I did is I dipped my paper onto my water for 5 minutes. And now I'm going to stick this to my pad. So I have a clean paper wipe or paper tissue. I'm just dabbing the excess water on the side, also in the middle. And now I will tape this thing. So this is called as stretching. So whenever you are beginning a painting onto your paper, always stretch it. Okay, these are some residue of the inks. I can't do anything, so let me just leave it. Okay, so this is how I tape it. And now I'll quickly show you by doing a beautiful piece of florals onto my 0% cotton paper, which is completely cellulose paper. So what happens is, as a beginner, we tend to use a lot of colors directly from our tubes, which are not the primaries, but a single color variation. So as you mature into art, you got to use 2 to 3 colors to make a new color for yourself and then try painting. So today what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take some scarlet red, and so I'm taking scarlet red here, and I'm also taking some not burnt, but sienna, to change the color a bit. Okay, so this has got a very brownish red color now. And this will be perfect for what I'm going to show you. So these are the secondary colors that I made, which is mixing 2 different variations. And now let's go ahead and do a piece. So let me use 2 paint brushes for this. So the center, I'm going to use number 4, and for the outing flare, I'm going to use a quill brush. So let's begin. So as the center is pretty tight, okay, let me just mix in some more color. I need this to be concentrated. Okay, so my center is pretty tight. Make it a little wavy. And now I will start to flare this out with my quill brush. I want the edges to be like that, unfinished. That will give a very natural look to our rose. Do you see how beautiful it is coming along? Let it touch. Let me just... Okay. So my first rose is done. Let me do one more rose here. So this rose, do you see the top part has less petals than the bottom? That shows that the rose is looking this side. So the same goes for here. I want the rose to look towards the right hand side. So let me just move my pad and let's begin here. So the center has to be pretty dark. I'm again taking my number 4 brush and let me do the center here. Okay, so the center is done. Now I'm picking up my number 0 quill brush, and with that I am making the petals. So the top, do very gently. I don't know, I'm in love with this brush. Being a natural hair, this is so smooth and so delicate. All right, so this is my rose that is flaring out now. All right, so both my roses are now done. Can you see one of the roses looking this side, one this side? So here there is a lot of white gaps. Let me just not do anything right now. Let's make some complementary flowers here. For that, I'm choosing orange. And let me just mix it in with some red or crimson red. So it turned out to be a beautiful warm orange. And let's make the first petals here. It's a beautiful 5 petal. Let me also do the same over here. Okay, both my flowers are done. Let me do one over here, or let me do some pink. So for that, I've taken some rose red. I'm mixing some water, and I got a beautiful pink. For that, I'm just dabbing on this over here. So one of the flowers is here. Let me do one over here. And to finish this, we will just make the leaf. Okay, so our rose is looking good. Let me now mix a color to make the leaf. For that, I'm picking up some sap green and some burnt umber. So that will form a beautiful golden green. And it's pretty watery. That's exactly what we're looking for. So to begin, I'm putting this brown over here in the center of the flower. Also over here to show that's the center. Now, I am making some stems, and for the leaf I am just pressing the brush. It doesn't have to be a leaf shape, but you get an idea that it is a leaf. Let it dry. When I was a beginner, I was really facing challenge making the leaf right. I still face a lot of issues, but yeah, I've improved a lot. So here is our leaf. Let's make some more leaf. With the tip, I'm just making the branches, and let's make some here as well. So these are the 3 leaf and the branches. Let me make some over here as well. Alright, so this is a simple floral arrangement that I have made, and let's do a little of highlighting. For that, I am just picking up some burnt sienna and I'm putting it in the center. Here too. Let me pick up my thin brush and the same green color to make some bones over here. All right. And the last thing to add to this would be some splashes. So as this is a brownish reddish thing, let me just add a complementary, maybe brown color. So I've picked up some burnt umber, and just on the sides I'm just making a splash. All right, so my beautiful flower arrangement is now done, guys. Do you see how simple it is to go ahead and use any paper which is 300 GSM for watercolor? So this is the cheapest Canson 100% cellulose paper that I have used. This was in the size A5 and I have just stretched it. So whenever you are starting a painting, do stretch it out and let it dry on it for some time and then peel off the paper tape at an angle. So what you would like to do is just do it at this angle. Just press it down and then pull it so that your edges come out very neat, and that's it. You will be all set with your roses. I hope this tutorial was very easy for you all to follow. I would be waiting to hear your comments under the comment section, and do share your work with me on my Instagram handle by tagging me at Easy Paintings by Ishita. I would love to see what you have done with this learning. So till then, enjoy your day, guys, and hope to catch you very soon on another simple rose tutorial, being a Valentine's week. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye bye.